Hey there, and welcome to Goddess on the Rise. I am your host, Sarah Berg, and this podcast is all about empowering women, living in your truth, loving your body as it is, in your journey to self-love. You can find this podcast to be real, raw, authentic, and truth. So buckle up, girlfriend, because we are going for a ride.
Okay, so hi everyone. This is going to be episode 6 of Goddess on the Rise, and today we have a super special guest. One of my best friends, like pretty much in the entire world, Miss Brandy. Brandy, you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody.
So we're actually on a Zoom meeting, so we can actually see each other, which is really special. You know, I forgot to tell you this actually, that one day, like, I plan on doing a YouTube channel. So this may show up on my YouTube channel.
Oh, Lord.
That'll be exciting.
I look like a hot mess right now.
Girl, same. But Brandy has been my friend for, Lord, how long now? Like 6 years?
Almost.
5 or 6 years?
I think, yeah.
So Brandy is a wife and a mother of 2. Her husband is former Navy, and she's living in good old Kentucky, which I love visiting. I don't know if it's like, I've told her before, I don't know if it's something about Kentucky or if the fact that she's in Kentucky, but Kentucky has like
We'll go with the second one.
Yeah. Kentucky's got a big chunk of my heart, man. I just love it there. I just always feel so good. I think it's because you're there, though.
Well, we love having you here. Kentucky loves you.
Yeah.
I think it treats you pretty well. Yeah,
it does.
Oh, yeah.
Some good times. But so Brandy is a health and fitness coach, and she's also a lash artist. She works from home, which is super dope because she's raising 2 kiddos. One of which I've met, my little sweetheart, Jude. I just miss him so much. He's so cute. And then newly born Charlie. And how old is he now? 3 months, right?
3 months, yep.
3 months. And that's definitely been a difficult journey for Brandy. I'm sure we'll be talking more about that later. But basically, I want to start out just telling you guys, like, about our friendship. So, and like where all we started. Is there anything you want to say, like, right off the bat, Brandy?
Nope, I'm going to let you take the lead, and then I'll just jump in when I need to.
Okay, sounds good.
You're doing a great job so far.
Oh, awesome. I don't think I can mess it up too bad, but so it all started, our friendship started really actually crazy. I think this is the craziest thing. So
there's parts of this that I don't remember, and then I feel like there's parts that you don't remember, and somehow, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's forever ago that we met.
My gosh, it really is. So we started off a meeting in online military, well, not even a military spouse group. It was like a military family group that originally, the way I got into this group was this girl had asked me to be an admin of it because I was going to be ending up in Norfolk where Chris was stationed. And so she asked me to be an admin and help her out with it. So I did. And I had asked her, hey, I do like health and fitness coaching. Can I post about this opportunity and like this challenge group I have? And she's like, heck yeah, I'll post. I don't care. And so I posted about it saying that like I wanted more people to join me and join my challenge group at that time. And Brandy commented on there. So I sent her a message, and of course, she was in Virginia Beach at that time, which is what this group was. It was for military families in Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. And so I added her as a friend, and I messaged her. I was like, hey, you know, like I was very new to coaching, and you know what? We should scroll up to our original messages at some point.
Oh, God.
That's
going to take forever.
You know, it really is. But I remember doing that at one point, reading them, and I was like, wait, what? Like, our messages so sucked. Like, we were not. Anyways. So I really didn't know what I was doing because I was like super new to coaching and stuff like that with Beachbody. And I just messaged her and she was like, actually, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I was like, what? Like, no one ever says yes. And then you were like, oh, wait, there's a discount? Yeah, I want to do that too. And I was like,
all of it. Just give me all of it.
Okay. I was like, what the heck? This girl's crazy. Like, she wants it all. I never had anybody say yes to me. So she was the very first coach that I signed. And let me tell you, like, I don't know if you remember, but you were asking me thousands of questions. And I was like, holy crap, this girl is serious, man. Like, dang.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember being so into like wanting to be healthier, but I had been like a week into like trying to make changes in my life. And I remember seeing that Facebook post that you're talking about. And I just remember like sitting at the island in the kitchen and just being like, I'm doing it. Like what I've been doing, I don't think was working. I was just doing ridiculous stuff.
Right.
And then I found you and I just like, I didn't care about the price. I didn't care.
Yeah,
like,
you
just
really
give
didn't.
it to me.
Yeah.
And like, and I just was like, she's going to help me get it. And I did. And
yeah,
like all those questions, like.
It was awesome. So like she was one of the first coaches I had ever signed. And I just feel like
it was like a learning process for us both.
Yeah, because I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like kind of teaching you and showing you through my mentor as well. So it was really interesting. And so when did you sign up, Brandy? I can't remember.
October.
I thought it was October. So
it's like it's like either the 4th or the 5th.
Yeah. So she signed up in October, and then we actually got to meet for the first time in January. Later that
I thought it was December.
Nope. Oh, wait, was it December?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
It was December. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I picked you up from the hotel.
Yes, girl. And I was looking so rough too.
In Austin truck, yeah.
Yes, I remember.
I wouldn't really call that a truck, but yeah.
Yeah, a little tiny thing. But yes, I remember. And then didn't I go to your hair appointment with you?
Probably. Like there's, like I said, there's like some of the things about our friendship that it's like you remember things and I don't remember things and vice versa. So it's nice to like reminisce about it because
it really is. It's so cute.
It feels like it's been forever ago.
It really does. Like I'm gonna get so like sentimental, but I miss that time so much. Yeah. Like everything about that. Like I feel like it was almost a different life, and I wished I could go back all the time. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gonna cry.
I know. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I've already teared up at the first 30 seconds. But I think like talking about it just makes us have like so much more appreciation.
Oh, totally.
You know, because you appreciate on a whole nother level. It's like nice to just. Yeah, it's nice to recognize those little things.
Yeah, these little stages of our friendship that just have like completely blossomed and bloomed. Okay, so let me tell you this. So so we met in December. We hung out again in January. I'm almost sure of it because we went. Basically, what happened was I went to see Chris after he got back from deployment, and I finished nursing school, and that was in December. Then we flew home and went and saw our family because they're both from Iowa. And then we got married and we flew back in January, where I stayed like 2 or 3 weeks before I started nursing school back up again. And then I flew back home. So I swear we saw each other during that time, but I can't remember for sure.
Probably because I remember talking about how we had gotten married.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we had gotten married before like our actual ceremony.
Same.
So yeah, I think I definitely remember.
Yeah,
we both have 2 dates to, celebrate. Yeah. Yeah. And I know yours was just recently because I remember that post.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
5 years,
I do remember.
baby.
Yep.
Crazy.
It does feel crazy. So yeah, I mean, because we met in 2014.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, and then when you moved to Virginia Beach, it was just like a whole new experience.
So
whole new life.
Yeah, it really was. So we maintained our friendship that whole entire time I was at nursing school, which was from January to June, and I moved to Virginia Beach in July 2015. And I feel like that is like some of my favorite memories ever.
That was such a good year.
It was so good. It was, you're right. It was so good. Like I remember us going to that one bar. Is it Fired Up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Like, what are you about to say?
I remember thinking, this girl's freaking crazy. You were so fun, but you were crazy. And I remember one of my favorite pictures being taken there. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Outside with the bloopers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. So I tried to put that picture.
I was feeling pretty good that day.
Yeah, you were. We were both looking fine AF too.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
take me back, right?
What a great year.
It was amazing. We had some good times. So
I know. And then we went to Summit. That was gosh.
We went to Summit in Nashville. And what Summit is it's a great place for Beachbody coaches to go and like learn new information, like how to network, how to help people better. And Brandy is an amazing coach. Like she is a little firecracker, and definitely back then she was like all in, baby. She actually received an invite to a Success Club party, which is like a promotion thing in the Beachbody world. And she took me, which is so funny because like I'm her coach, you know, and she took me, and I just think it was the cutest thing ever. But we had the best time in Nashville. But also, I don't know if you remember this. I'm interested to see what your thoughts are about this. But it wasn't like our first fight or anything, because I don't ever really remember us having any fights. Do you?
No.
We never fight. Mm-mm. And I love that about us.
I'm just trying to think like what you're about to say.
Okay.
Is this like in Nashville while we were in Nashville? Okay.
Yeah. So when we were in Nashville, which that was like, wasn't that in July, August? It had to have been in July.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. This girl.
It was so hot there.
Okay. So it was. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm a small town girl from Iowa. Never had moved away from home or nothing. And I go to Nashville with this girl she's a fun time. You know, she's a fun time. And
I was in like a completely different place in my life at that year. Like
you really were. And I didn't want to like say too much there and like put out your business, you know, but like you were a little bit of a different person. And the funny thing is like I still loved you, like both versions of you, all the versions of you I've loved. But I thought you were freaking crazy, and I was so worried about you because this girl would go out by herself in Nashville at night, and I was like, I don't know who this person is. Like, I'm scared for her. And I just remember kind of being like a little like, ooh, I never thought like I don't want to be her friend, but I kept thinking like, oh gosh, like she's partier, man. Like I'm not really about that, you know? So I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I remember if you ever remember me telling you about that.
Yeah, I know during summer I just like wanted to experience that. And I guess from like a young age I've always been like such a traveler and ambitious, and definitely at that point in my life I was definitely ambitious.
Yeah, you were.
And but I got to experience it though. So I just feel like I didn't know what to expect going to Summit.
Yeah, me either.
And like everybody's like personality types, and like I don't know, it just was so It was a lot. It was
It
a
was.
lot. And then you're like really tired because you are soaking up these seminars all day long and you got to go here and there and you're on like 2.5 hours of sleep.
Literally.
And it's like, okay, when am I going to get to shower? Like how are we all how are 8 girls going to shower?
In a little tiny hotel where we were sleeping on the floor.
So I just like totally out of my comfort zone and just like not really knowing what I do now. I totally do things a lot differently, but
definitely
growth.
Different people back then. Oh, one other memory before Summit happened was I took you to your very first I introduced you to Starbucks for the very first time. Do you remember that at the mall? Do you remember that picture?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I do.
So
I think that was one of actually our first times. Or no, that was summer. Yeah, that was summer. Never mind. Because I remember wearing shorts.
Yeah, it was right before we went to Nashville. And I remember wearing this cute little outfit. And we went to the mall. That Lynn
I haven't worn it since.
Same. Lynn Haven. I think it was Lynn Haven Mall we went to. And I got you your very first Starbucks, and that's where the addiction started.
The rest is history.
I thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy you never had Starbucks.
I was so anti Starbucks. I was like, why would people pay $7 for a coffee? They are so stupid. And here I am 5 years later enjoying Starbucks $7 coffee with all the extra add-ins and
I love it.
Yeah. Me too.
So let's see what else is after that. I think like after that, what was really special was that we just kind of started doing like business together, like coaching together. Like we hosted challenge groups together. We would get together at Starbucks.
I miss that.
Me too.
I
literally was going
you.
Oh my god!
I have wanted to freaking. I've been wanting to say something for like a week now, and it crosses my mind almost every day.
Oh my god, same. I was like, but like when I saw your post yesterday, I was like, I just want to say something, but like I don't want her to feel obligated. So
no, like I miss like the basics that me and you had, and like I felt like at that point of our times, like we were the shit. I mean, not that we're not the shit now, but like we were pretty fierce as like.
We were.
I want to say like a couple, but
But yeah, like seriously, like I was like, oh gosh, I just loved us so much.
Yeah, same. And now like we're even better. Yeah, but we have to talk more about that because I'm glad that you feel the same way because I was so nervous to say something.
Same. That is so funny though. I was literally like 5 hours ago upstairs getting ready, and I was like, man, I want to ask her, but I don't want to like, it's so funny how we're both like that, very aware of each other's feelings like all the time, it's
weird.
It is. I love it.
In a good way.
Yeah, it is. So, we like just going through the years, like we started hanging out more. One of my favorite things was Friday night dinners. So me and my husband would go over to her house and we would all like bring something, and of course a bottle of wine, and we would just hang out like all night long and drink wine and of course water, and we'd make Fixate approved meals and like just really healthy.
We sometimes were known to do some pio.
Yeah,
while we were. That was that was I think your first night at our house. That when you and Chris came over, it was probably in 2015, and we did pio drunk in our living room, and you like took over my phone and.
Oh, I recorded that really sweet video.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was kind of like when we knew when we knew our friendship was
real.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it just really like blossomed from there. It just continued on. Like, we would have.
I needed a friend like you, and I didn't even know it.
I just love you. So. I need a friend like you too. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like we just
like the yin and the yang, like balance.
Yeah. But I think that's the really cool part about us. Like back then was that we were two very separate people. Like one of my very vivid memories about you two was that we were going to the beach. It was on July 4th and you had to put on makeup before you left the house. I was like, we're going to the beach. Like, why is she putting on makeup? And like, it was just who you were at that time. And like, I just have so much respect for that person, like who you were then and who you are now, of course. But it's just amazing, like our growth throughout the years on like both spectrums there. Like, is just, you were a totally different person and I was a totally different person. And like, we met perfectly. And I feel like now we're a lot more alike though.
Yeah.
But we're
I'm
still
hopping on this call with no makeup right now.
I know. And that would have been unheard of back then.
Yeah.
That was not a thing.
Like I said, growth. I just started like focusing on the things that actually really mattered, because I realized like you don't care what I look like. No. And not that I don't think anybody else did, but I really like, you helped me like learn to be more okay with myself, you know. Aww. It's just crazy what friendships, you know, I've never felt that way with the friendships that I've had for you know, a long time, and I've only known you for going on 6 years, so it's like I said, it's just crazy.
It really is. I just think that this is probably one of my most stable friendships that I've ever had, and I mean that so much, because like I said, there's never been a time, like if we disagree about something, it's never been like not
disrespectful.
No, it's just been like, oh, okay, like I can see your point on that, but I don't agree. I'm like, it's just oh, okay, that's fine. Like, you know, it's never been like this thing. I do remember one time you talking to me about where you felt like I didn't support you as much as like my other coaches on my team. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it was right when I moved back home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we kind of drifted a little bit there, but like I had no idea you were feeling that way, so I feel like I was a little worried at that time. I was like, oh my gosh, am I losing her? You know? And then like, I just expressed how I felt about it. I was like, well, of course, you know, that's not the case. I just was trying to give you space that I thought you needed, but I should have just asked what you needed instead. But that was it. Like we talked it out, and
again, that was another just like crazy point in my life. I just feel like, ugh. But yeah, I do remember that. And I'm just really glad that we were able to communicate effectively and not be petty. Because, you know, it could have went a whole different way, you know.
It really could have. And I think the biggest thing there is that, one, I was able to like communicate to you. First of all, I think kind of like what I want to go into is like, you know, friendship tips, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've had a great friendship and it's been super successful, like as far as boundaries and respect and just communication. And I think one way as far as communication goes is that we don't really text. We voice chat. Mm-hmm. And I can't even tell you how amazing that is, because there is no guessing, like, you know, the emotion in that person's voice, like, and you can hear them, and like you can hear the sincerity in their voice. So like that was one of the things, like when we were having that kind of, not like a disagreement, but that confrontation almost, I remember us like voice chatting about it. And I remember recording a message to you saying like, I am so sorry. Like, I never meant to make you feel that way, you know? And like things like that, it comes off very sincere, whereas a text doesn't do that. And I think I personally feel like maybe I have lost friends in the past over communication issues. And I think if I would have used like a voice to text or did something in person, like I know in person's not always available, but you know, like FaceTime and things like that, it helps so much more. Yeah. And I know like when you're in a disagreement or whatever, you don't really want to hop on a FaceTime call with someone, but if you value that friendship, like you need to put it all aside and, you know, do what you can.
Communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not through text. Like through text, it's just, you don't know the emotion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, what do you think is like one other thing that, or do you have anything else to say like about our friendship or anything before we get to like tips?
I mean, I've already said that, you know, I feel like I truly needed you. I think it is so true when it comes to the saying that like, you don't know what you need in life until like someone new's in your life and can offer you something completely different. They make you grow, they make you change, and you don't even realize that like you needed that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I needed your friendship and like your personality and like who you are, because it's just helped me grow, because the person I was when I got out of high school and when you met me is like not the person that I am now.
No,
And
it's not.
it's been like such a beautiful change.
It really
And
has.
yeah, and then I'd give you like a lot of credit, and I just have so much respect for you. And I think that's where a lot of where my friendships went wrong, like my long-term friendships that I've had since middle school, since I was 4 and 5 years old. Like I still care for them, but I think just a lack of respect over the years has really done some damage. And I agree when you say that we have a very healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Like you put me a priority, and I cannot thank you enough, because if I was able to come and visit you, I definitely would.
Oh, I know.
My little gypsy butt would be on the next plane, or I would drive, like if I was at a different point in my life. So I just want to say thank you, like in person, for making me and my family a priority.
Always.
Because it's nice. It's nice.
I just love you guys so much. And I think one of the things that made our relationship grow so much was like the birth of Jude. That was such a special time, like that I got to be a part of. And like, holy moly, the fact that you even allowed me to be a part of that was just like such a beautiful thing, you know? And
I honestly could not imagine you not, because you were like a huge backbone when it came to like my pregnancy.
Yeah.
And obviously when he was here.
You made me feel so important during that time. And I just loved that. Like that feeling that like, I don't want to say like you needed me, but like you made me feel like I was needed. Mm-hmm. And I loved having that feeling. I'm that type of person. Like, but I also tried to like respect boundaries and not give information or advice where advice wasn't wanted or warranted. But it was, like I said, there's so much respect there that it would never come across that way with you, you know, like it just, it was, you would ask and then I would, you know, give whatever you needed at that time. Because a lot of people don't know, I don't think a lot of people know, but I was a pediatric nurse at that time, and I can't say any more about that, but you could say whatever you want about that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm allowed to talk about it?
You're allowed to. I just can't say anything.
Okay. So Sarah was Jude's nurse, and I don't even know. I don't really know what to say besides,
you don't have to say anything, honestly.
I mean, just having like that connection, and with it being like my first born, gosh, there was a lot more questions than I ever asked for health and fitness wise. It was always, what's this? What can I do? And it's still like that. And so
true.
I'm like, I just always have like, I have my little nurse in my pocket, is what I like to say.
Yeah, you do.
I hate to put it like that, but
no, it's true.
It's been that type of support. And it was just, like I said, I couldn't imagine it being any other way, because not being in a place, like having a baby in a place that you're not from, you know, one couple, and you grow really, really attached to them. We can thank the military for this, and then like they just rip you away, you know. And so that's why I couldn't imagine it being any different, because it would have been just such a lonely time.
I just, like, as we talk about growth and stuff like that, it was amazing to see you go from like this girl, like you calmed down, you know, during your pregnancy a lot, but then like you turned into like this mother, and it was just like almost like a flip of a switch. And it was just so beautiful, like watching that journey. And then, like I said, like you allowing me to be a part of it. And me and Jude, like, I don't know how you felt about it, but like I always felt me and Jude had a very, very personal connection. Like, I don't know, like I could always make him smile, and I just felt very attached to him. you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It was really special.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you got a lot of one-on-one attention that other people didn't get for a long time.
Heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. And like,
and even if you were like at my house, then we seen you in the clinic. So, or, you know, at the office.
Yeah.
So it was so cool. If I could do it again and like, or like have you for Charlie's nurse. Oh my God.
Oh God,
yes.
I would do it in a heartbeat. But I kind of am Charlie's nurse from away.
Yeah. Virtual nurse.
Yeah, you call me a lot for it, so it works.
Yeah.
Even though like I
Too
don't.
bad you're not here, because if we do get approved, he needs an in-home nurse to come and help me. So too bad you're not.
I know. That would
You're
so perfect.
Like the perfect person for it. Like I
really
best friend time.
Yes.
And I get
I get snuggles.
Yeah.
That would be so perfect.
He loves those.
Maybe in a different life.
Well, maybe in a couple of months. You can just be here for a little bit.
Yes, definitely. So where else are we going with this here? Let's see. Friendship tips. That's where I wanted to go. So we talked about communication. One of the things, before I say this, I wanted to say, you were talking about the friend that you didn't know you needed. And I definitely feel that way too. And a lot of times I've questioned friendships in the past, like, oh, should I keep this person around and stuff like that? But I've never really questioned that with you. But one thing I've noticed about my friends that has like made me feel better is like some people are there, like, I don't know if you've heard that. Maybe it's Medea that says it, where she said like some people are like the leaves, some people are the branches, some people are like the roots. Have you heard that saying? Like the leaves, they change from season to season, they come and go. The branches are there, but sometimes if you walk out on them, they're going to break and they're going to fall on you. But the roots, like they water you, they nourish you, they're always there. Like you can't just dig up a root, you know? And that's definitely the connection I have with you, is like you are straight up one of my roots. Like you are my biggest cheerleader, one of my biggest fans. Like you're always supporting me, always loving me on anything and everything I do. Like you're never like, oh, I don't know about this. You're like, okay, I'm there for it. Like, you know, you don't question it. Yeah, you don't question it.
I am totally here for it.
Yes, and I love that so much about everything. So you're definitely one of my roots in my little support system. So
well, thank you for saying that.
You're so welcome. And we didn't pay each other to say these things, by the way. Just a little side note there. So another really, I think, important friendship tip, like I said, we said communication. I think the other one is boundaries. And that is something is like so beautiful, like seeing you create these boundaries. Like I think I have a hard time with boundaries, big time. Like it's not as easy for me to cut people off. And I don't think it's easy for you to cut people off at all, but you're a little bit stronger with that. And I think that helps me as well. But like even boundaries with each other, like I remember this, it was not even that long ago, like maybe a month or two ago, I was going through a hard time and you were going through a hard time. And you asked me, are you mentally able to listen to me right now? Are you mentally able to be there for me right now? And like that respect and like you noticing that boundary for me was amazing. And of course I always say yes, you know, like of course I'm going to be there for you mentally and physically, but like you asked me about my emotional state before you laid your stuff on me. And I think that's huge. Like that just shows like so much respect, you know, like, cause you know, we were both going through something and you were just like, okay, I recognize you and what you're going through and I respect that. And you know, are you able to be there for me? And I think
I wish more people.
Wow.
And hopefully after they listen to this, they can really utilize that, because there's nothing like not really having that extra space to take on anything else.
Right.
You know? I mean, I'm not saying that you're not strong enough to handle it.
Right.
But it
that
doesn't
feeling
mean
of obligation.
You should have to.
Yeah. That obligation you
definitely
feel like you have to friends.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good tip for people to have.
You know, and I think what is important there is so I feel like I will always say yes because I'm very good at like separating things. I think for the most part, or maybe I just think that I don't know, but like I can always take on someone else's issues because it makes me forget mine for a little bit. I don't know
Right.
if that's healthy. Let me just say that. I don't know. That's a good way to look at it. But one thing though is like if a person, and you can jump in and let me know what you think about this, but if a person is not in that mindset and they have to tell you no, I think like if I would have responded to you, I'm not in a point right now where I can help you or listen to you, but check back in with me tomorrow. So that way that person knows, like,
yeah, I've had to say that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think I haven't said it to you, but there's been another friendship that it's like, I can't right now. Like, I will get back to you. Like, I don't want you to think that like I'm ignoring you, but I'm like not in the best mindset right now, and I will get back to you.
And see, I think that's a perfect example of like saying no, but I am still here for you, just not in this moment, and I'll get back to you. Like that's very important. So they know that they're not being ignored, and it's not just no, I don't want to deal with this. It's no, I respect you. You're still important to me, but I'll get back to you at this point. And I think right there is where the boundary.
And like you respect yourself too.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I just was referring to it earlier as you don't know like how much you have left to take in, or if you want to be optimistic, you just don't know how much is left in your cup. Like you could just be barely hanging on.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's definitely nice to like have that boundary and recognize that in yourself.
Yeah.
And these are a lot of things that I didn't have in my prior friendships,
Right.
I've tried to instill boundaries with those old friendships, but I just feel like it's just kind of like your love bank, certain things happen, it deducts from it, or your cup starts to get less full. It just starts to empty, and like there's just nothing that you can do, like especially if it's one-sided. So it's nice to have something that you continuously pour into. And I think it just really has to boil down to like respect, really.
Straight
it
up.
really does, because how you treat somebody it kind of really determines how you respect them, like how much respect you have for them and where they are on your priority list. And girlfriend, you are high up there.
Aw,
you are very high up there.
Ditto. I think you brought up some very good points there. And I think like if you're trying to instill these boundaries with like friends that maybe know like the older version of you, they're not used to the person that's grown, but you still respect them, you love them, and you still want them in your life. I think what's important is to have like these sit down conversations with them and be like, listen, like I've done some growing and I really want our friendship to grow too. And these are the boundaries like I feel like I have to set for myself, and make it more about you. Like don't place it on them like you're toxic, you're this, you're drama. It needs to be about you. Like I respect myself and I need more peace in my life. So this is kind of where I'm at. So that way they're not just like caught off guard. Like all of a sudden you're putting up these walls and these boundaries and they're like, who the heck is she to even be doing this? Like the communication needs to be there for sure, of saying like, hey, this is where I'm at. This is my headspace now. I'm asking if you could respect that. And these are the times that, I'm like available and I would still like to hang out. But like say something like, one of the biggest things is like you don't drink as much anymore. Like you don't drink at all. And say you have a friend that drinks all the time and they want you to go to bars and stuff like that. You could just respectfully tell them, like where you're at with your growth and stuff like that. And you kindly don't do that anymore. But if they want to do something else, like come to your house or go get a mani pedi or something like that, you're
There's
down for those things.
Other ways to spend quality time.
Sure, absolutely. So I think just again, that communication needs to be there, and they really need to be kind of, if they can't reciprocate that boundary and that respect for you, I mean, definitely give them time to kind of adjust to it. And what's that?
Yeah, like adjust to it.
Oh yeah. and just be there for you. And hopefully, that works out. And if not, if they can't respect that and respect those boundaries, then, they're just not the person for you. And that's okay. That means that person was just a leaf and they were supposed to be there for a little bit in your life, teach you a lesson or whatever it is that they were there for, and then, move on from it. It doesn't need to be. I think a lot of times what hurts us is like realizing that people that you want to be roots are not roots and they're more like branches or leaves. And it's hard to let that go, but it causes more hurt and like almost a regression, not letting that go.
Yeah.
So, can you think of another tip that we kind of do? Oh,
I would say, what are you going to say?
I was going to say love language. Love languages.
Yeah.
We understand each other's love languages.
Yeah. And I think it's important to say too that we understand like our own.
Yeah.
Because then that's how we know what we can give and receive. So,
yes.
Just like knowing who you are, just having more of a sense of who you are helps, who's around you.
Yes.
That's for sure. And I feel like over the course of just since we've been friends, each year, it's like I figure out a little bit more about myself,
You totally do too.
So
it's really
it kind
cool.
of like everything that we've just said just kind of like all just ties into each other.
Yeah, it really does. But like, so like with love languages, I think it's very important to be self-aware of what you like and what you don't like. And I think we're just very like, one of the things I like, my love language has always been gift giving. I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts too. And so like one of my things that makes me feel good, and I know like Brandy enjoys it too, is like when I send her like Starbucks gift cards and it's not like about receiving the gift. It's more about like knowing that I was like thinking of you, and like that meaning behind it, which is kind of like my thing too. So just little things like that.
Yeah. I remember like right before you got married, you were still in Iowa. I sent you that Beyonce shirt.
Oh,
it was like Beyonce, but Beyonce.
I still have that shirt. I do.
Like and then the shirts that we're wearing right now, like I was so excited.
Okay. So I'm going to explain this and we're going to take a picture. It's called their Soul Sister shirts. Brandy had it made for us one year. And it's swole, as in like workout swole. And hers is yellow, which is her favorite color. Mine's purple. And she got them for us one year, and I just love it. We actually have had matching shirts several times. So, do you still have your Girl Boss shirt?
Mm-hmm.
The pink, we have that one.
Yeah.
And then I made us team shirts one year. Do you still have that one?
Yep.
So
the black and glittery one.
Yes, I love that one. Yeah. It's so flowy. But so yeah, we've had several shirts, but so with the Swole Sister shirts, we've taken workout pics on that before, but she's going to take a selfie and I'm going to take a selfie in it and I'm going to put it side by side and that's going to be like my episode cover,
Okay.
So, and that's how we'll share about it. But so that way you guys will know what we're talking about, but yeah. What, can you think of anything else? Like,
oh, I did. Like whenever we're in the middle of a conversation, something will pop in my head, and then I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Brain fog is great. I think I don't know if this is. Well, yeah, it can be considered a tip. I think not being afraid to like cheer each other on.
Oh, yeah.
And like not make it feel like such a competition. And just like learn how to have an empowering friendship. Like if there is any type of jealousy that is negative, like I don't know, I just really feel like your friend should inspire you.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say it. Like, don't be afraid to support them. Don't be afraid to encourage them. I think that in my previous friendships, that was always a struggle for me because it goes back to the last topic we were talking about. Like, I just feel like they didn't know how to support me because I was growing.
Yeah.
And
And they weren't.
Like, why can't you see that, you know? But
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
Yeah, I really like what you're saying there. Like, so with us, like, we were both health and fitness coaches through the same company. So like, but we never competed against each other. Like, there was times where Brandy completely outdid me times 5, like in the business, and that was okay because, like, you know, like I was working full time as a nurse at that time, but like I was cheering for her. Like that was important. Like it was. I think it's important to know that, like, I was there for her at that time, but also like when she posted something on Facebook, I'm the first person usually to like comment. Like I have her notifications turned on to where I see her top of my news feed every time.
No.
And I do, like, even your lash page, like I try to be like first person to comment on.
Yeah, I
like,
really
yeah, I
appreciate
see it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm always supporting, you know, and she's doing
Yeah.
the same thing for me all the time.
We like blow each other's stuff up.
All the time.
I like it though.
Me too.
Like
Me
I would
too.
not want it any other way.
Heck no. Like I feel it's so important to feel supported, but and that's the
Yeah.
thing, like the beauty of it, like say if you're doing the same exact thing, the beauty of it is like Brandy brings something totally different than what I bring to the table. And so knowing that, like, even if I had like a person who was interested in you know, receiving coaching from me, but I felt like she would be a better fit to Brandy, like you better believe I'm going to send it Brandy's way because I want to see Brandy grow, and I know that I'm not the right fit for them, you know. And like there's been times where I haven't been coaching and I don't feel like I'm at the right area to help someone, I'll send them to Brandy, and vice versa. Like she's sent clients to me that had thyroid issues and I could kind of help them a little bit better. And, you know, so it's all about like seeing each other succeed and always rooting for each other. Like it doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? Like there's no sense of jealousy there at all.
Yeah, I feel like we're like equal, even though like you signed me up if you want to get technical and want to get like businessy with it, you know. I've always just felt like, you know, we were equal and that we were like doing it together. And I feel the most powerful when me and you like link arms and we do things together, and I just love it. Like we were talking about earlier, like that's my favorite.
Mine too. I love that.
And I think the girls that, well, like in my group specifically, I know those girls have, I know they enjoy it. Like just seeing like us two together. I mean,
yes,
they need it. And I think obviously, but we do really amazing things when we
really
link up,
do.
and that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
we definitely
like,
changed some lives.
Yeah, including our own.
Yeah, for real. And that's what's so beautiful about it.
I can't believe we've both been a coach though. Like, yeah, like I said, mine's in October and yours is like what, July? Or
I think it's like June or July. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things I liked what you said is how we were equals. And I think that's so important, like in any friendship. Like, I have been in friendships where someone was like higher up than me, like in a business or like in like a career or something. Oh, actually, perfect. I have a friend who is married, and she's always made me feel like I'm less than because of what my husband does. And I'm just like, that's just a really icky feeling to have. Like I would never want to make anybody feel that way. So,
and I can only imagine naturally you would feel like you don't want to be around her that often.
Yeah, well, we're not. No, we're nowhere near close as we've been in the past. And I mean, that's hard, but, you know, it's just like one of those things that someone should always be your equal. I have another girlfriend who I love dearly, and she is an RN and I'm an LPN, and she never makes me feel less than. She always makes me feel equal, even though she's got way higher level of education than I do, you know, but she always makes me feel like I'm right on that level with her. Like she'll send me nursing memes and stuff like that. And like some of them I don't understand because I'm not an RN and I don't do some of those things, but like I can still appreciate the fact that she sees me as her equal. And I think that's so important, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are some really great tips. I think they're very like more in detail than just like step one, like, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Like to have a good friendship, you know, like these are like
authentic.
Like real life tips to make you have like a friendship that's going to last. And like, I feel like one of the things that's really important about us, like we have always, you know, been there for each other, respected each other, like those boundaries that are there, like, and we have grown together. And I think that's what's really made our friendship what it is today, is like, I'm not just growing and you're staying still. Like there's times where like I'm here, you're here, and then you're here and I'm here, you know, like our growth is like up and down, you know, like we're never on the same page at the same time all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's beautiful, is like I can help you go through things that I haven't, or I've gone through, and vice versa, you know, like there's that. And anytime I talk to you about things like that are crazy, you know, like holistic nutrition, all that kind of stuff, like you never shot me down. Instead, you kind of like, okay, you almost like converted. Like, you know, you're very more into those things now. And I think that's so cool. Like, I feel like that'll be really fun with like if we do a group together, like to talk more about those things.
Yeah. Just a whole nother topic for a whole nother day that we should record. It's almost like a tea party. It's going to be like, but I mean, we used to do it whenever we first started coaching, and, you know, we would just sit there and just vent, you know, and just because we know, I mean, I think we know and we care so much, and it's like, sometimes that gets misconstrued for our passion, for sure.
Totally. Sometimes I, you know, have to stop myself and I'm like, oh crap, I'm probably sounding more like judgmental than I am like helpful, because I just am so passionate about something, and I'm just like, it doesn't mean like one of the biggest things I can think about that is like, you know, it doesn't mean that, obviously we know fresh organic vegetables are best, but if you can't afford fresh organic vegetables, you better believe, you know, get the frozen vegetables. That's a start. Like that's still really big deal. Like good for you, you know, like that's not anything bad or to be disappointed or feel judged about, you know. I think that's super important. So yeah.
This is not as scary as I thought.
Heck no, girl. You should know, if you can go live on Facebook, you could do a podcast.
Yeah. So I just think this is so awesome, and I'm very proud that you're doing this, because I mean, I've known what you've had to say about different things and the things that I've grown just from the knowledge that I've gotten from you. And I kind of feel salty that like you're going to release it to the world, because like you've been like, you know, you've always communicated it with me, and now other people are going to get a little taste of you.
Oh my God.
But it's totally in a good way. And
yes, I know.
Just, I am very proud of you.
Well,
very proud. And I really just can't wait to hear more of your podcast. Like I've listened to every single one. So.
Oh, you're cute. I appreciate it. I've totally enjoyed this. Like this is so different. And it's funny because like, I can't wait for you to hear one of my episodes, like not the one of me and Chris, but the one I recorded after that. It was after I got off my live video. I was messaging you during that time, and it was kind of about like friendships and boundaries and like losing people. And one of the things I was talking to you about at that time, like I got really emotional, was like people who I feel like all of a sudden quit supporting me because they heard a side of a story or sides of stories that maybe brought me out to like, not even in a bad light, because it really didn't have much to do with me at all. But like, you know, it was such a small town that they heard things, and then all of a sudden they jump to judgments instead of giving me grace when they don't even know me, you know, where they just quit supporting me or quit showing up for me. And that was really hard for me, because I don't know, I'm just not a person that would ever do anything like that based off of what Sally has to say about Susan, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't take sides like that. I would say, unless it's something like, you know, it's like family or whatever. But so I recorded that episode, and I can't wait for you to hear that one, because you're going to love it, I think. But back to what I was originally saying about all this, was that like my podcast has just been something, I know, like squirrel moments, but my podcast has been really cool for me, because I don't know who's listening to it. I like don't know who's on the other side, like listening to my information. So like when I talk, I'm just talking out loud. Like it's not like there's no nervousness for me, because And that's how I am on social media a lot of times. Like I just say things and like I don't even know who's going to consume my information. So it makes it easier for me because I'm like, who cares? Because I don't even know who's going to hear this.
It's like, I feel like it's just like a live video, except people can't see you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And it's very tempting to just like say things like, but sometimes I have to censor myself a little bit. Like I really wanted to call things out on situations on that episode, but I reminded myself it doesn't matter what side is saying what, you know, it doesn't matter at the end. Like we can always give people grace, and you know, it just doesn't matter whose side you're on, you know, like just be who you are, whatever. But
right.
It's kind of nice though, like especially like with this, like we don't know who's going to listen to our episode, you know, like
yeah. I really hope. I really can't wait to see who does listen, because I did ask them to, you know, let me know if you would. And I already seen that girl, Kara, that I met yesterday. She was going to listen.
Oh,
I talked
awesome.
a lot about you because she's another friend that I, not to like bring her into our stuff,
no,
but
that's okay.
she's another friend that I met through Facebook. And
yeah,
I was just telling her like all my Facebook friendships, and Becky's one of them,
yeah,
you know, like, you know, you lived in a whole nother state, you know? So
right.
I just really have a huge appreciation for our friendships that come from Facebook.
Yeah,
or social media.
Yes. I'm telling you what,
It's what it's for.
It is, but like I have way more people on social media like rooting for me and like cheering me on than I do in real life. And there's so much respect that comes with that, because they're seeing like the actual, like the real side of me, like the genuine side of me, that like they're not judging me of like who I was in high school, because they don't even know who that was. Like I don't even know who I was in high school, you know, like I am who I am and who I want to be right now. And it feels so like real and authentic, and I love that. But that's who the people on social media like get to know. But I think that can be a good thing and a bad thing, because it can be really dangerous. Like people can show only one side of themselves, but you know,
yeah,
I try not to.
That doesn't happen.
No,
that doesn't happen really here.
Yeah, same. But if Kara is listening to this, hi Kara, and thank you for the beautiful shirts you made for my Brandy. Those are so cute.
I started crying.
I bet you did. I could only picture it. It was so sweet.
I did. Just like, well, whenever you started talking about Charlie, like you just even mentioned his name, and I just started tearing up at the beginning of the podcast. So I'm like,
oh. Do you want to share a little bit about Charlie so people kind of know what we're talking about?
Like his medical stuff?
Yeah, you could just kind of tell a little bit about what's kind of happened, like some major.
Well, actually, I actually talked to the cardiologist today. So, but I'll.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me this.
But I talked to him just a couple hours ago, and I just like, it's not even really that huge. Let me just start from the ground up. So,
okay.
So when I was 22 weeks pregnant, when they did the gender scan, they found that he had a hole in his heart. And what they actually told me when they did the scan in my original OB office is that they can't see his heart properly. Like they want to bring me in for another ultrasound. Okay, didn't worry about it. Got another one. They still couldn't see it. So they said they're going to refer me to maternal fetal medicine. I'm like, okay. I went there, and they told me that they scanned me for like a good 45 minutes to an hour. And, you know, they're poking and prodding. I'm turning and twisting my body in ways that a pregnant woman probably shouldn't twist. But I was just determined, like, get the images that you need. Like, I don't care how uncomfortable I am. Just get what you need and stop.
Right.
And then I remember like a doctor coming in and telling me that he had some heart defects, and she only told me about one. She said she even pulled out a textbook and was like, he has DORV, and it's double outlet right ventricle. And of course, like, you know, you get told something like that, you just start, everything from there on out was just like static. I feel like I didn't hear hardly anything that she said. I was just very emotional, and that was a very tough day.
It really was.
And from then on out, like my whole pregnancy was different. And honestly, from the time that I got pregnant it was just a really stressful time. And then it was like, just stuff just kept piling on and piling on. And I'm like, I know I'm strong, but damn, like how much more am I allowed to take before I break down? Cause that was it.
Yeah.
Like, so
it was like bottom. I feel like you were like,
oh yes,
you were there.
Oh yeah. 2019 was definitely rock bottom from January
Yes.
to like December.
Yep.
So then I had like, I want to say like a normal pregnancy from when I found out I was pregnant to finding out about his heart defects. And then after that, it was like, I was being scanned every single week, once a week. And sometimes I had 2 appointments. It's like every couple weeks I had 2 appointments. So since finding out of those, I feel like my life just started to slow down about Christmas week.
Yeah.
With not having an appointment. That I think from probably like July to December, that's when I've been on the go every week. And that's like puts it in perspective, because I've been burning up that road going into town to appointments. But it's just been like so hard just finding out about everything, and then like needing to feel the way that I want it to feel. I was like so sick of everybody telling me like, oh, it'll be okay. Like I still get sick of it, because it's like the last thing you should say to somebody. You know, and I've even caught myself, like, since going through all that and like having those feelings, I've even caught myself not saying it to Jude, because I am very quick to say, oh, it'll be okay. And I know that's
not the truth.
Probably, you know, and he's hurting, and, you know, it's going to be okay, but like, that's not comforting.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's going to be okay in its own way. Like, you know, I mean, it's going to be okay is a very broad term. Like what that means to one person may not mean the same to another person. And it's not helpful. What would, just real quick, kind of a learning step, what would something helpful be if like someone wanted to respond? What would a helpful way be?
Oh Lord. Just feeling empathy. Like, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. You can say you're sorry, but like, I mean, even if, well, it just really depends on if it's like through text or like in person.
Right.
You know, I think it kind of varies situation to situation. But just having empathy, and like sometimes you can just say like, I honestly just don't know what to say.
Exactly.
And I wish I could hug you right now. Like sometimes that's, you know, you say that like, and I've picked up on it, and like, sometimes that's all you need to hear, you know? It's just like, hey, I'm here. Like, I don't really know what to say. If you want to talk about it or continue talking about it, like you can. But I don't, like, I don't know. I just, saying that it's going to be okay is just, it's not okay.
Right. I think something like, you know, like, I hear you, your feelings are valid, you know, like I'm
definitely
here
affirmation,
no matter what.
for sure.
I think that's important. So, but like since then, like, you know, once Charlie was born, it was kind of a whirlwind because you had a C-section, and everything just kind of was a lot different experience than what it was with Jude. And then of course, you know, you had problems with Charlie gaining weight. So where are you now? Like for people that don't even know you, you're like, you know, Charlie has a feeding tube.
He does.
And, and he's gaining weight.
Yes. As of now, it's not a lot. And I hope like when you listen to this that, Charlie doesn't gain weight like a normal child or someone who isn't medically special needs, should I say, or even compared to our first son, you know, they're just not the same. And I really didn't understand when people said like, no, 2 kids different, or no, 2 kids are the same. You know, and your first one's different from the second one. And it's, gosh, It is so true. Because,
Yeah.
you know, Charlie's really made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it's been so defeating as a mother because, you know, you naturally know like what's best for your baby. And although I did what was best for him in the time, it just wasn't working because it's something way over my head medically.
Right.
And so it's just been really challenging, and I fell into a really great depression over it. You know, I just
Sure.
wasn't in a place to where I could take care of myself. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a tube now, and really it saved his life. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the last decision that I really wanted to make for him and put him through, but it's allowed him to gain weight. We went to cardiology on Friday, and he weighs 12 pounds and 8 ounces.
Wow.
Which is 6 ounces heavier than he was 2 weeks ago. I mean, a normal thriving baby would be a little heavier, or would be, heavier.
Yeah, for sure.
But his heart, the best way to describe his heart is, he, even at resting right now, he's sleeping, and it's like he's running on the treadmill. He is like full blown exercising. That's kind of how his heart is. It's got to work triple to keep up with. So he's burning calories. I need to burn some calories like that.
Right. Amen.
But not in a heart defect way, but
right.
So he definitely struggles to keep up with his calorie intake because of his heart. But cardiology on Friday, and I'll go ahead and tell you like what was discussed.
Yeah.
I've only discussed it with Austin. Right now, I haven't told anybody.
Well, who else would you tell other than me right off the bat? I mean, honestly.
It's like such a hard thing to like just say like, hey, I talked to cardiology, you know, like.
I know it is.
Unless, I don't know. It's just, but anyway, so he told me on Friday that he had a surgeon's meeting on Monday.
Right.
And he would call me either Monday night or Tuesday. Well, I didn't talk to him till Wednesday. So the last 2 days have been really anxious.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he finally called me, and he said that they would like to wait to do surgery, you know, get him a little bit bigger. He is 12 pounds, 8 ounces. He is like slightly on the incline of gaining. So he's not losing or staying still. The best result obviously is to get him heavier and a little older, allow him to grow. And, you know, over the weekend, as I was thinking about what he was going to tell me, I kept saying like, I want him to, like, I don't want to spend the summer inside. Like, I want Jude to, I want it to be fair to Jude too. You know, I want him to go ahead and have this surgery, and I want to enjoy our summer. I don't want Jude to be cooped up in the house. But then like something clicked in me today that like total different perspective. Like it just had me thinking to like, well, he isn't symptomatic right now, even though like he is on 2 medicines to where, you know, the Lasix and the digoxin, or however you say it. And his symptoms are being controlled. And I told his cardiologist that, you know, I am okay with what he's doing right now. But the minute that something changes to where he has to be upped on his dose, or where he needs another medicine, that's the end of this journey. Like, that's when I want to have the surgery. Because if we can get him, even if it's just a pound, even if it's just another month, like, I'm okay with that, because I know he is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and I just try to like, I don't know if this is like the empathy part of me, or I don't know. I just like think about like my baby, like laying there and like seeing how little his heart is. And I know that they're capable of doing it.
Right.
But I just try to think about like him being a little bit bigger and how like that outcome. And I know that's what they're thinking too, but it really took me till today to kind of like just saying like, hey, as long as things don't change, I'm okay with like playing it by month to month.
Sure.
So that's kind of like where we're at, and they're okay with it. And a huge thing is like having help here. So I want to be able, I just want to be able to have help with Jude so we can focus on Charlie, because this is a huge surgery. So
sure. Yeah. So you didn't say what surgery he's having. So in case anybody would want to know, can you kind of explain like what it is he's having?
He will be having a open heart surgery to repair, because his heart defect is not just DORV, the double outlet right ventricle. It is also an AV canal defect, which means atrioventricular. There's multiple holes in his heart that make up one huge hole in his heart that, and so blood just mixes. And it's just a whole hot mess in there. It just needs to be patched up. It needs to be rerouted, redirected. His two major arteries have got to be separated. So there's just a lot of reconstruction that needs to happen. So I do know with what they were saying that the bigger that they are, the more success that they see. Yeah. So I would like to see him get as big as he is allowed, that his body allows. I'm kind of just gonna follow the signs. Like, I'm gonna pay attention. So
I love that you're a little bit more at peace with that. I'm glad you. Yeah, you have. And real quick, I want to say, one of the things that you said was your empathy, and it kind of just made me think of something like when we first met. Not saying you weren't an empathetic person, but I think you were, I don't know what the right word is to use it. Maybe like,
my way,
very much your way, but also like you didn't want to accept that part of you. Like, so you kind of pushed it aside, like, and acted like that wasn't a big part of you. Cause I think you acted like you weren't empathetic, but I think you actually were. I think you have always been a very empathetic person, but you didn't acknowledge that because I don't think you wanted to accept that. So like, it's amazing to see where you are now. The fact that you even talk about being empathetic is like night and day from when I had first met you, which I think is just one of those beautiful.
I just like hate it feelings.
Yes. Cause like they can be strong, man. And you had a lot of stuff you had to go through. And I think that's why also I think therapy is a beautiful thing because it's really helped you. And I know it's helped me as well. So little tidbit
I'm actually going to therapy Sunday.
What?
Yeah.
Yay. I'm so happy. You know what? I called up Military One Source and they were supposed to get me in with this person and I haven't heard back from them and that was like 2 months ago. So I should probably get back on that.
Holy smokes.
I know. I'm like, that's really crappy actually. They should have already called me and said something. They only have like 3 days, I think, to set something up with you. So that's weird. But
yeah, they're definitely past that.
Yeah, a little past that. So but
yeah, I know whenever I've seen her, I haven't seen her in like over a year. And when I seen her for the first time 2 times ago, she was like, "What? You've had a baby? Wait, you hit somebody?" I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary of that.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about that the other day. So that's definitely going to be a topic, I think, for a different time. And I like not necessarily talking about you hitting someone, but talking about the trauma that was there.
And triggers.
Triggers and trauma. I would love to talk about that. And real quick, I don't think I have a girl on my Facebook. Her name is Alexis Taryn. She is one of my biggest friends in Iowa. She is amazing. Have you seen her on my Facebook before? I think you have. You should add her as a friend. And anybody that doesn't have her as a friend, you guys should go look her up. Alexis Taryn on Facebook. She actually does a lot of posts about trauma. And she actually, I wish you were in Iowa because I think you would love it. But she teaches a trauma-informed yoga class. And she also teaches like kids trauma-informed yoga classes. But anyways, she makes a lot of posts about that. And I think that they would really resonate with you.
I've seen her
work. Yeah, you should add her. I think you'll really like her.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I definitely relate to stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And whenever you're ready to talk about that, we'll have to definitely do a topic about that, because
Whenever, girlfriend.
yeah, it's going to be something that you lead. So, because I don't have experience in some of those things. So it's like kind of going to be whatever you want to talk about with that. You're looking at me like, oh shit.
Are you talking about like physically? Or like getting to that point?
I think like wherever you want to start, like whatever you want to talk about with that is okay with me.
Oh, I don't even know where I would want to start or what's appropriate, you know?
Anything goes. That's my podcast. It's real, raw, authentic. So I've told my viewers that, and I have an explicit warning on it. Actually, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I always click explicit because I cuss.
I don't think I pay attention.
I cuss, and I'm not going to censor myself. And then, of course, like you already know what my husband said on that one podcast. I told you all. So, like, I'm just saying, like, everything is real, raw, and I don't want to censor. So, I'll just, if you are going to talk about like things that have happened, then I will put in there that this could be a trigger episode, so that way people know. But
okay, yeah, I mean, really, whenever.
Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited too. I mean, this whole podcast thing makes me so excited. And I'm excited to be able to do this because it makes me feel important.
You are so important. Like, I feel like we could have our own little show, dude. Like,
God, that would be so funny.
I think that you're going to be on here a lot. So I want my viewers my listeners.
Well, at any time, if you ever want me to, like, I just want to go ahead and give you this invitation. Like,
same, like I was telling you the other day. Yeah.
To doing whatever. If you want to cover something and I haven't mentioned it, like, just ask me because I need something else to do.
Totally. And that was one of the things I was going to tell you too. Like, if you have something you're like, that's on your chest, this is an open invitation to you. And honestly, to all of my listeners, like, if anybody wants to, come on my podcast and they want to talk about something that's important to them, I mean, as long as it aligns with kind of like what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is supporting and empowering women. So I can't imagine you not, having a topic that covers that. So yeah. Just kind of for everybody. But I think we'll probably end here. But I just want to say thank you so much for being open about this and for your friendship. I mean, a lot of things, I'm not going to say I couldn't have done without you, but you've definitely made it a lot better. My life would not be the same without you in it. And I just love you so much for all your support.
I love you so much too. Definitely thankful and grateful for you, girl.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed that little interview I did with one of my nearest and dearest friends, Miss Brandy. That was completely unrehearsed. We just really let the conversation take us to wherever it was going to lead us. And it just felt so good to reminisce on all of our memories that we have had over the years. And just a friendship that is really built on trust, communication, and respecting each other's boundaries. Our relationship and our friendship is probably one of the healthiest I've ever had, and I'm really thankful for that. It's been such a beautiful thing to grow with Brandy and just to really, be myself and have her cheer me on the whole time. Never once do I feel judged by anything I say with her. And it's just such a very authentic relationship. And I'm so appreciative of that. If you are listening to this episode when it first comes out, it is January 21st. And if you could just take a second and wish Brandy a very happy birthday with me, go to my Facebook, Goddess on the Rise. Well, that's my Instagram, Goddess on the Rise _. And then my Facebook is Sarah Brookberg. And you will see a post about this episode. And if you could just drop a happy birthday to Brandy, I would greatly appreciate it. And Brandy, I am releasing this episode on your birthday as just a big, getting emotional, a big thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders ever. Your support through everything means the world to me. So Brandy, today is all for you. It's all about you. I love you, girl. Happy birthday. And I just hope that this year is the best year of your life. Once again, thank you so much for all of your love, your light, your honesty, and your truth, and the fact that you live in it every single day. And your friendship just means the world to me, girl. All right, guys, this is the end of this episode. I literally had so much fun recording this. I know it's one of my longest ones yet, but I just didn't have the heart in me to cut any of it down because it was just so good. There's so many different nuggets in there, and you could just really hear how real and raw and honest our friendship really is through all the giggles, the laughters, the wonderful memories that we have, and then the amount of growth and tips that we have. These tips aren't your just normal communicate, love each other, respect each other. They really dive deep and go into kind of the ins and outs of friendship, and it leaves me respecting Brandy so much all the time, and I'm thankful for that. It takes two to really make a friendship work, and with me and Brandy's friendship, that's what it's all about. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and if you have anything you would like Brandy to talk about, drop it below. Send me an email, send me a DM, and just let me know what you think of this episode, and if you have anything else that you'd like us to talk about together. So without further ado, you guys know I end every episode in positive affirmations, and today's affirmation is dedicated completely to Brandy. So Brandy, I hope this puts a smile on your face, and I hope you know how much it means to me and how much you mean to me. So today's affirmation says, I am ready to reveal my light, to share my love, and open my heart to relationships with those who value true friendships. And that is what Brandy is all about. She really values me, and she really values my friendship, and it definitely shows. So, Brandy, I love you, girl, and I mean it. Thank y'all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.